maintaining compliancy and keeping flexibility open to yourselves. Next slide, please. All right, so I've been doing a lot of presentations around the world, actually, a lot through Gartner groups, Forrester, CIO groups, CIO organizations, CTO organizations, and they all are looking for the same type of things in hybrid networks. Hybrid networks, again, public networks, private networks, and enterprise networks that you already own. And their issues are, there's some obvious benefits to renting something versus buying something. It's logical, right? If you rent it, it's going to be cheaper than buying it. If you rent it, you can always get the benefit of new technology later without the investing of capital. It makes a lot of sense. So CEOs are saying, you know what? Public clouds sound really cool. Private clouds are also really cool. But how do I manage across them? How do I deploy across them very effectively? How do I achieve all of my major IT objectives? How do I do disaster recovery? And yet keep compliance in networks that I don't own? How is that possible? I have new initiatives. I have initiatives where I have to take a lot of my core intellectual property and put it someplace else and let other people access that from different arms of the government, different branches of the government. How do I do that and maintain control? How do I release control of things I don't want? Here's an example. Your business isn't doing email probably, and yet you have a huge email infrastructure to communicate with your internal people as well as your external people. And for compliancy, you need to keep all of that email in storage somewhere. But a lot of people, if you look at very large organizations, government organizations, that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you have to maintain it, you have to support it, and you have to control it. Wouldn't it be nice if you could give that problem to somebody else? Let Amazon, let Rackspace, let somebody else, Smart, PLDT, Globe, provide those services for you and grow that infrastructure and build the building and put in the air conditioning, put in the power, put in the servers, and you only pay a small percentage of what you normally pay. And you don't have to hire a huge amount of staff to maintain it. And yet, you will still have the same security you had before. These are things that are going to be walking. Also, you want faster access, or the CTOs want faster access to their customer base. Your customer base might be your own internal organization, or it might be external organizations as well. So you want faster access to those people at a competitive edge. You want all of these things. I want to connect anywhere, everywhere, all my applications, do my disaster recovery, do my consolidation, and I want to save money. And I want to hire less people. That's a big task. All of those things are actually possible. Next slide, please. All of those things are actually possible with these types of clouds. So, the cloud is happening. If you're not in the cloud, you will be in the cloud. If you're not in the cloud, you are behind. People are doing this today. This is a chart that comes from Gartner. This is a hybrid IT, mixture of all these networks. Reality today. It is here to stay. People are using it. If you are not, you are behind. If you are not, you are spending money needlessly. If you are not, you haven't yet learned how to actually implement these networks. That's part of why I'm here, to help you understand how to do all of this. So what has happened in the last couple of years is the transition in the public cloud, in the private cloud, from infrastructure as a service, you putting your servers, you putting your applications somewhere else, someplace like in Amazon, someplace like a Rackspace, and it's moved to software as a service. So people like Office 365, Google Apps, Salesforce.com. These are huge applications that are happening today, offloading you from having to support them, offloading you from having to upgrade them, offloading you from having to support them locally, to buy infrastructure to support those things. This is happening today. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is a report from Gartner, and it's the same one from Forrester, pretty much the same thing you see from IDC. Is the public cloud a big market? It's $160 billion US. If you look at the next 2 years, that's right here. This is happening. This is not make-believe. This is not fake. People have invested, people have spent money, and people are deploying into the public and private cloud. $160 billion. Of that 160 billion US dollars, 90% of it is software as a service. So if you didn't believe that people are using it, you're wrong. If you aren't using it, you are behind. And you will be left behind. So it's to your advantage to understand how to utilize it the most cost effectively and how to maintain compliancy with all the intellectual property that you own in your government organization. Next slide, please. So this is very, very easy. Now, cloud computing is obvious. Again, it's logical. If I'm renting from somebody, if I'm leasing from somebody, I am paying less than buying it. That's great. CFOs, chief financial officers, love to hear that. And you can save up to 40% compared to whatever it is you did before. You're going to save 40%. That's a pretty well-known fact. Many studies around that. The problem is the IT people are saying, yes, it's really good. I can save money, but how do I control it? How do I control my servers that are in the public cloud? And I also have some servers here in my private cloud, and I also have some servers in my own private enterprise. How do I make it the same? How can I use them all equally? How do I not buy more stuff to be able to do that? I'm here to show you how to do that. Users, what do they care about? A user who's connected, a user who's using your application. All he really cares about, he doesn't care about cost. You're worrying about the cost. Right? He doesn't care about the security. He cares about the application. What am I doing? What am I achieving? What data and intellectual property am I receiving? That's what he cares about. And he wants it fast. He wants to be productive. He doesn't want to sit behind a terminal all day waiting for the screen to come across. Now, if you think about a cloud, what is a cloud? A cloud is resources far away. A cloud is a resource, whether it's a server, it's an application, or something else. It's a resource, like data, someplace else. And if it's someplace else, it's not next to you. Pretty clear, pretty logical, not hard to understand. If it is away from you, there is distance and there is latency. That equates to delay. So when you talk about the cloud can be 60 times slower, 60 times slower than your current environment. So what does that mean to a lot of people? If it took 60 minutes, right? If it took 1 minute, it now takes 60 minutes. Right? If it took 1 hour, it now takes 60 hours. That's the kind of latency and delay that happens when you're in a cloud that you don't control. I'm here to tell you how to make it the same. How whatever you're doing today is the same or better by going into the public cloud. And I'll tell you about those technologies. And I'll tell you about some of the benefits. And I'll tell you other people who have done it. You people have, if you have not done it, there are tons of people who have done it. People like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Charles Schwab, Merrill Lynch, Payne Weber, Kmart, Home Depot. These are all very large organizations who have already done this in terms of large enterprises. In our company, we actually have most of the governments around the world. People like the CIA, the Homeland Defense, the United States, as an example. Most of the major city organizations, educational organizations. Next slide, please. So, cloud is really cool, but the problem with cloud is it's far away. You don't own it. You don't control it. Next, please. Please keep going. Okay, so you can use cloud under the condition that you use certain technologies and innovation to utilize them effectively. Next. So the first thing you have to really do is decide, and this is pretty obvious as well, what is core to you?